Hello, everyone.
Live from my grandmother's basement, we are the trash people, the people who talk about Planet Scum Live related ephemera. I'm Emily Pineapple.
And I'm Forrest, keeper of the Canon.
And I'm exceptionally excited today because we are going to bring to you, we're going to start a bit of a, perhaps we're going to dip into this and dip out of this depending on what comes, but we're talking to K-Scum hosts.
Yes.
That's what we're doing. K-Scum is the incredible place on the Planet Scum Discord that is both a radio station and an open voice chat channel where you can sign up and host your very own shows. And so today, we are incredibly lucky, incredibly blessed to have two of the members of one of the breakout incredible K-Scum shows. The amount of buzz around this show has been ridiculous.
Big
Vice
show.
reporters have been swatting their houses. There's been... They found them. The Vice found them because
Don't know if
this
swatting
was
means
so
what you
incredible.
think it means.
Swatting is not what I think it means. It's camping out outside and being like, tell us about the show.
Oh, okay. Staking out their houses.
Staking out their houses. Is swatting when you call a SWAT team on Twitch streamers? Oh, God, that's terrible. Don't do that to anyone.
Don't do that to anybody.
I don't think anyone will. But we have two of the three hosts of the incredible show, FriendSHIP, which happens right after the weekly brief every Sunday at 2 p.m.
3 p.m.
3
Pacific,
p.m.
6 p.m.
Pacific.
Eastern.
So without further ado, let's welcome on the show Annika and Andrew.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Hi.
What's up,
Welcome
friends?
to the show, dear
you.
friends. I'd love to start us off if you could just sort of introduce yourselves and how you found Planet Scum, how you ended up in our weird little world. Annika, would you like to go first?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was a fan of Chris Gethard for a long time, since TCGS days, sort of endish of TCGS days. And then I joined the Discord from the Facebook group in like December or January maybe. But then
It's almost your Discord anniversary.
very exciting. It may have passed.
It may have
I'm
passed.
not sure. But I didn't do anything in the Discord until like March of this year. I happened to be doing like the monthly look through the Discords I'm in because I'm not active on Discord and just like see what's happening. And people happen to be in the voice chat, and I happen to join. And then the rest is kind of history. That's
Wow.
that's how I got sucked in.
That's beautiful. Annika, something that I like to go on about, which I'm going to keep to very much a not on about, but in lieu of, for introducing yourself, I have a belief that Chris Gethard personally picked every single person who is in his flock. He is a trickster god. You do not choose to worship a trickster god. Trickster gods find you.
Is that a
and there
belief
are
or a fact?
traits. This is a fact. There are traits inherent to each of us, which show us that Chris Gethard chose us. Like, you know, Chris Gethard can't just say, like, I chose you. We just have these elements within us that show to us that we have been chosen. What is your quality or a quality?
I think I think I am, and I think people who would know me would agree, I am chaotically stressed, but also chaotically excited. And often those two things are at the same time. And I think that that's what it is. The other thing I think it is that in order to motivate myself to take my medication, I have to make it fun, which means that if there's any like perforated parts where you can like break the pill, I have to break it and then take those each separately, including of which I just switched a medication, and now I have, for the first time ever, a bar that has 3 different segments, and so I get to split it into 3 parts before I take it. That's the other reason Chris Gethard chose me.
Those are incredible reasons. In fact, you might be one of the most chosen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just saying. Also, chaotic excitement is a beautiful phrase. I love it. Andrew, let us know how you found us and what traits within yourself show you that Chris Gethard personally chose you to be a part of your flock. his flock.
Well, I will start by just answering Sarah's question that I'm eating a no sugar added crunch Klondike, not by choice, but because I accidentally bought the no sugar added version, and now I have to reap what I sowed. So,
Well, how much sugar is in it? Without
Not
any
enough.
added sugar. Not enough?
I think
Actually,
ice cream famously needs sugar. Like, I think that famously
Yeah.
is what makes it good.
yeah, it's kind of just the chocolate is sugary, so it has enough sugar to be enjoyable, but you know,
It could use just a hint more.
But every bite reminds you there could be more.
that's right. What is the question? How I found the
Yes.
plant scum, or how it belonged to the flock of Gethards? I'll just do both. So
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
yes. So I think my memory's been have tried to remember this a million times, and it's always I can't quite fully remember. If people know my buddy Tron, who's on the Discord, who will pop up once in a while, I think he might have introduced me to Chris Gethard, either that or we coincidentally bonded over it early on. But either way, it started in college for me, and it was very much kind of, you know, I was very attracted to this idea that you can make entertainment that is mental health positive and that is straightforward about like mental illness is real and a thing that, you know, people deal with, and it comes in all these different forms without necessarily being about that, but just kind of having that as a core aspect of it. I really love that. So that drew me in, and then I had like what I like to call affectionately my depression summer of 15. So 2015 was a low point. I
We're all
watched a lot of
remembering our own
anime.
depression shadows.
Oh yeah.
right.
Oh yeah.
And to be
Well, it's
clear,
like,
it's not the only summer I was depressed, but that was like my low. So didn't get out of bed much, but I did watch a lot of Chris Gethard show, so that really
Nice.
kind of locked me into that whole world. I think I guess it must have been, well, who cares? I was in the chat at some point for some shows, either Fusion or whatever, but yeah, that was kind of what got me in. And then when CGP started, I watched that and really, really loved it. And then for the Halloween show, Claire O'Kane's show, the Skype
Ghoul
thing where
Train.
Ghoul Train, yes. I called in as a unicorn, and so that is what got me into Discord, because then people were like, join the Discord, and I did, and here I am.
And a legend was born. What is your inborn quality that shows you that Chris Gethard personally chose you?
I think I mentioned my summer of depression, but let me emphasize summer of depression. No, yeah, I mean, the mental illness, very much so. I would say also my kind of
Yep.
I laugh at like everything. Like I read a tweet this morning that was basically someone realizing that they like tried to mute themselves in their whatever Zoom class to fart, and realized that actually they were muted the whole time and just unmuted to rip a big fart and then muted again. And I died laughing at that. So that's like, I'm a very easy audience when it comes to laughter, and maybe that's also a quality that Gethard looks for.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that's so perfect. Wow.
Absolutely
Wow.
incredible. I feel like that is the quality in that person that shows them that they are chosen by
Yes.
Chris
Reach
Gethard.
out.
Hi, Henry.
Hi, Henry. I would love to know from both of you, perhaps let's go in the other direction. We'll start with Andrew. Do you have any other fan-related bona fides? I don't know how that word is pronounced. I pronounce
right,
it
I
like
think.
the way Kevin Smith pronounces it. Okay.
I think
heard
that
it
and
as
bona fides are both
fides,
fine.
But
Right.
then he said it silly, and I'm like, that's the best way to say it. Because
It's like anglicized versus like Latin or whatever, like however
Yeah.
you want it. Both are fine. Yeah, like first one.
But do you have any other fan bona fides, things that you have created for this community or a different community, times that you've contributed to shows that you would like to share with us? Theme song.
Yeah. Thanks for that. I mean, I have I have created a few things, but the more prominent is definitely the What's in the Box theme song for the Wednesday night show, which is going to be in a couple hours. So yeah, I was really stoked about that. I don't think of it as like a huge accomplishment, but it was kind of just a very. I did it pretty quickly. I was just kind of excited to do a little thing. I didn't think they would actually take it for the show, but
You just wanted to write a song to play to them on the phone?
I figured I'd send it to them, and if they thought it could be useful once or twice, then they'd use it for that. But then now they have like a video component to it, and it's the intro. And Gethard will every time sing, "Ooh babe, got what I want, say." Anyway, we love bits. We love our bits here at planetscum.com.
Love bits.
.co.uk.
Love
Australia.
those bits. New Zealand. .Ireland. .Indonesia. Wow.
Ooh.
Global.
Is this worth licking off the foil at this point?
Yeah,
It's so
absolutely.
good.
100%. You have to. It's a rule.
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
that's the nice chocolatey crunchy part. Do it. Do it. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Perfect. Get all those bits.
Annika, do you have any other bona fides? Cookie morning.
I appreciate the reminders because truly, when people ask me a question, all of the words go out of my brain. Yeah, so I've done a few things. I did one or two things for case in point, the show that I watch every Sunday, which is called the George Lucas Talk Show. There we go. Cool. Forgot that for a second. So
You made the website for the Butter Cinematic Universe,
Yep.
right?
Yes!
I did the Butter Cinematic Universe website, and then I did one, like not drawing, but like Photoshop put shit together thing. And then I've been on Googie Morning a few times. I did a song a few weeks ago, and then talked about movies once, and then I've been on Robbie's show a few times. But
Oh, yeah.
but in terms of like
Getting
making
a sick hat.
stuff, exactly. In terms of making stuff, I don't know, it's always intimidating to like, I don't know, to be like, hey, this is a thing I made. I guess I hope you like it. But now I'm realizing it's not just about that. It's not like for approval, you know what I mean? Which sort of in my life in general, I'm trying to learn that things aren't done just for approval. That's separate.
That's a big one. That's a really big one.
It's a
It's a
big
big
one.
one.
Takes time.
Wow.
Takes time. But so
Why
yeah,
you gotta
and
call me out like that?
but I like making things, and so I've realized that I can actually make things, and that's fun regardless. And so yeah, that's so I'm trying to do more music stuff, and I'm enjoying it.
Beautiful. And music, of course, plays a huge component in the reason that you are both here. FriendSHIP, this
Great
incredible
transition.
show. There have been how many episodes? 4 or 5 episodes so far?
4.
3?
4.
This is not a bug. This is marker. 4 episodes?
4.
I saw it and I was like, is there a bug on me? No.
'Cause
4 episodes so far.
We had Sam, we had Arya, we had Purple
Dot
Hat,
and Jake, Purple Hat.
Yeah.
and Dot. Right, it was Sam, Dot, Arya, Purple Hat. So those
Yep.
are the 4 we had so far, yeah. And I
Gorgeous.
guess if you count the sandwich episode, that was my thing initially, then technically that was
Oh,
a different
yeah.
though. That was different.
It's like the pilot where like they recast someone afterwards, and like the theme song changes, and
There
like
it
the
is.
vibe changes, but it's basically the same.
Tell me the story of FriendSHIP. Let's start with that pilot episode, the sandwich night sandwich
Sure.
extravaganza with Andrew from Philly.
Oh my god, what did I call it? I forget. But anyway, yeah. Anyway, it was like a very out of the blue. I don't know. I kind of was in a mood to pull some kind of stunt for Sandwich Night, because last Sandwich Night I pulled the stunt of bringing a Philly cheesesteak to New York in the CGP studio dressed as a unicorn. So I was like, how am I going to top that this year? I wasn't actually trying to top it, whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to, I like coming up with fun shit to do. So I wanted to do something crowdsourced, and it kind of little by little the idea started taking shape, and yeah, 10 questions, multiple choice. Winner gets to pick an ingredients, and that makes a sandwich. And I got away with a pretty decent sandwich at the end of the day. I was expecting something fucking foul,
You gotta dox
Pretty
that
edible.
sandwich. You gotta dox that sandwich. What was in that sandwich, Andrew from Philly? So, and these were questions about yourself, correct?
Yeah, I am notoriously a narcissist, and so I just made 10 questions about myself, about my life, my presence in the Discord, in the CGP world, and yeah, wanted to see people ask about me, because that's the kind of freak I am.
I think we all want. That's actually not true. I say I think we all want that, meaning I want that.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And therefore everyone else must too.
It's universal because I
That's the
agree.
kind of freak I am.
So, how did you two freaks realize your joint freakiness? And then, of course, the third individual, local unknown, could not be here today, but is the third host of
He's
this
over in
show.
the comments, though.
Over in
And
the
also
comments.
agreed that that was the pilot for
Yeah.
friendship.
Yes, but for whatever reason, local unknown couldn't appear in voice or on camera.
I mean, plausible deniability, I think, has the answer right
Yeah,
there.
That-
you gotta
yes.
remain unknown.
Precisely. But tell me how you all came together and came up with the idea for friendship
Yeah, so during
and what friendship is, because I realized we haven't said that.
That's
Okay.
my bad.
so during basically it's a
We need to become famous.
I love Tog.
so basically during Andrew's show I loved it. I was having such a good time. I thought it was the best concept ever.
Stop.
Because it was like friendship and happiness, but like also a little bit of fun competition. It's like when you have a game night with friends, and the real idea, if it's a good game night, is that you're hanging out with friends, but you have like a communal activity, and in this case, that communal activity happens to also be celebrating a person we love, and also like just generally how cool it is that we get to make these friendships through the Discord, and so I loved it, and I think it was Bryson that said something along the
Oh, yeah.
something with friendship, like the name with ship being capitalized, and then something about a boat. Truly, I can't
To
remember.
say all aboard. I forget at what point in the process he came in, but
Yeah.
yes. And the funny
yeah.
thing too, just sorry, I'll let you continue. And I just wanted to point out also, it's really funny that you and Local Unknown both messaged me
Yeah.
asking, "Hey, can we turn this into a show?" And
Yeah.
I was like,
Oh.
"Well, turns out this other person also asked this, so let's make it a trio."
Yeah.
Such serendipity.
Yeah.
we
It was
we
meant to
literally
be.
we both messaged him being like, hey, this, because or at least I can speak for myself, I messaged afterwards being like, I don't want to step on his toes, but this is so cool, like I would love to keep doing this, and also I want to do this for myself because, as we said, narcissist,
Narcissist.
it is what it is. And so but we both messaged, and so then the three of us got into a group chat, and then immediately, because of my ADHD and how whatever, I was immediately overwhelmed, and I was like, there's so much great planning happening, but my God, I've forgotten all of it already. Like,
Well, it
it's,
sounds like you might have had some help
Yeah. Do you need?
keeping organization of that planning. Someone just jumped into our stream.
Yeah.
Uh,
It looks like you're trying to organize a show. Do you need some help with that?
Hey there, new friend.
Hello, Clip It.
Welcome.
Wow.
I flip it.
Welcome to the show, Clip
Welcome
It.
to the show.
I'd love to be your
I
friend.
would love to be Clippett's friends. Would you all like to be Clippett's friends?
I would love to be friends with Clip It.
Eyebrows are pretty sus, though.
The eyebrows
Oh.
are pretty sus.
So
that's so
clearly
nice.
you had some help organizing this show together. Clippet, please feel free to chime in whenever in the form of text. It doesn't appear that you have the capabilities
Yeah, I don't think you can talk,
to
but
speak. But anything you want to add, please jump in.
Absolutely.
Hi, Trav.
oh, good to know. Good to
to
know.
know.
And I saw you loved friendship.
Yes.
Oh, amazing. So Clip It suggested to me, and then I suggested to our group chat that, or rather I said apologetically, hey, do you mind if I make us a server so that we can organize these conversations like into different things. And so then suddenly it was like, it became a whole organized thing, and we put shit together. And
I like how you say it became, like you didn't play the major part of putting
I
together
forced
the
us
organization.
to organize it.
You're
I
like,
was
I'm so
impressed.
bad at organization, I had to organize.
Well, no, but that's the thing, though. A lifetime of undiagnosed ADHD forces you to find ways to overcompensate.
Absolutely.
And so, like, I can tell you, I'm sitting in my room right now. It's a disaster. Like, there's shit everywhere. But my computer has so many subfolders. Everything is meticulously organized. And so I've found ways to sort of channel my energy into the things that I know I need to organize, because otherwise, like, stuff won't happen. I color code everything. I have meticulous planners, like whatever, because I have to, because otherwise nothing is in my
See,
brain.
This is my whole planning. I just make a to-do list and I cross them out and I throw it out, and then there's another one next week, and that's all I do.
I do that in
Wow.
addition to a bunch of other stuff. 'Cause this is,
Like,
I have to have
many
things everywhere.
books?
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
But this isn't me
different-
bragging. I suck at keeping track of stuff, so the moral of the story is
No.
you've got the right idea.
but Clip It, you clearly have some capabilities to help save changes and keep things organized. Is Clip It a mascot of this show?
Apparently now they are.
Should be, yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. I'm
Wow.
down with that.
Big. Shippy.
Oh, Shippy!
Incredible.
Perfect.
Tell us about FriendSHIP. Tell us about the process of getting it set up and sort of what happens in the shows. Yes, 6 p.m. EST Sundays, right after the weekly brief on weeks that don't have a
George Lucas Talk Show
Yes.
Marathon.
he's my notebook brain.
But I also just have it. My Google Calendar task list is so long. I have to scroll through it to make sure I've done everything.
But tell us
Really are
about
the keeper of the canon.
FriendSHIP. Yes. Tell us about FriendSHIP, what the show is like, how you set it up, and
Uh-oh.
Okay,
They cut
it
out for
wasn't
you
just
too?
for me.
Well,
No,
Yeah,
it was us.
okay.
We actually cut out. You should repeat the question.
oh,
No, we
tell
got
us
it.
about the show
Oh, okay.
and
Yeah.
what wonderful things have happened.
Andrew, do you want to take? You can start, and then I'll talk about how we came up with the prize stuff.
Oh, great idea, yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, well, I mean, we knew we were going to keep the basic format of my show, of the sandwich show I did, and just kind of center it around a different person than me. So that part was kind of the easy part. But then there are some difficulties with, like, we're not building a sandwich, so what are we building towards? And also, like, who's what are the rewards for participating? I think that was the biggest issue. But
And
beyond
also
that, it was
apparently
also,
a Kahoot debacle.
A local unknown said, "Don't forget the Kahoot debacle."
I wouldn't call it a debacle. I mean, local
Anything
unknown, like,
can be called a debacle. Let's be
Sure.
real.
like the no sugar added Klondike debacle of the show.
Complete bother.
Yeah, it was also just kind of like getting the aesthetic of it, and that's local unknown was obviously huge for, like, getting the aesthetic of those posters and the question cards. I think everyone knows, but I'll say it anyway, that local unknown does all the visual elements of the show, where Annika and I are merely on the audio end of things. And speaking of the audio end of things, tell us how we resolved our prize difficulty, Annika.
Yeah, so a lot of stuff was being thrown out there, including basically we got excited about, like, having it be good and trying to figure out the best ways to have it be good, and that involved a lot of different ideas that were thrown out, including Kahoot related ideas and what can and cannot be done with Kahoot. Anyway, a lot was being thrown out there, and we were talking about different prizes, and at one point we were thinking, okay, well, we could do like a collage where people contribute, like, pictures and stuff, and then we put together a collage for them, because that's sort of a more physical thing. And then once we got into people contributing things that make them think of
Right.
people contributing, people who get answers right contributing things that make that person think of the VIP. There we go. That then a few days later, I was, playing my guitar, and I was thinking, I could probably, I've never done it, but I could probably write a song in like 50 minutes. Like, I could probably do that. And so I suggested it to the group. And so for those people who don't know, because again, we still haven't explained how the show works, I'm going to do a quick rundown of how the show works. Basically, every week we have a different volunteer who comes on, and they provide us with 10 questions that about them and about their role in Planet Scum and all of that. And then lovely Local Unknown, aka Lou, puts together beautiful answer card or question cards, and then during the show, we'll do a little bit of an intro. We'll hear Andrew's lovely theme song, which brings me so much joy.
Gorgeous.
Great theme song.
A truly fantastic theme song.
Thank you.
Then I will say toot toot mother frickers, and then the show will start, and we'll do 5 questions, which are the VIP's questions, and then we go into Lou's mini segment where Lou asks impossibly hard questions about themselves in rapid succession with no follow-up unless you get the answers right, which truly is chaotic, and I love it so much. Then we do an additional 5 questions, and each person who answers a question correctly gets to give me a word or a short phrase, which I then write into a song over the course of 50-ish minutes, but honestly, I don't really get to start writing until the first few questions are over.
It's really like 30 minutes.
Yeah, so it's like really 30 minutes.
I still can't believe that you've pulled this off 4 times so far and are showing no sign of not being able to do it ever.
I mean,
Very
here's
impressive.
the thing. Writing songs quickly is not a skill that one gets to show off really almost ever. Because it's not really a useful skill generally.
Except
and
that
so,
it's entertaining as fuck.
which I have now
You
learned.
tore this around. Like, I could see, and I mean, we've sort of seen that. Open Mike Eagle took bits and would like sample them into like his sort of crazy whole deal based on things that happened over the course of the night. And Annika, you similarly can write songs very quickly, and I want to see you do it in stages all over the U.S.
Well, thank you. So it's a chance for me to get to be like, hey, look, I can write songs really quickly. They're not like they are what they are, but they're songs and they're done.
They're great.
I can melt people's hearts with beautiful, affectionate, catered to a particular friend songs.
That's very nice.
No, yeah, it's amazing.
And with the songs, sometimes the vibe is, generally I try to cater the vibe to something about the person. So like when it was, for example, the most recent one for Purple Hat, I wanted it very much to sound like sort of like a rousing, like anthem kind of song, because he's such a like, getting people involved and being inclusive and sort of being like, hey guys, let's all go do this together. And so I wanted it to be like a kind of more rousing anthem versus Sam, who was the first one. Sam, I wanted it to be sort of more quiet and sweet. And like with arias, or like dots, I wanted it to be cool. I just wanted it to be like cool and kind of fast and like aggressive and cool. And it wasn't aggressive.
Beautiful.
That song was beautiful.
So much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was a wonderful
And then arias was more, I think arias I got on the words first and then sort of got into the vibe, and so it was less specifically tailored to her vibe, but then I think it still like got there in terms of being like energetic and positive. And so I try to, in addition to the words obviously being catered to them, I try to do sort of a catery vibe as well.
That's gorgeous. And speaking of music, Andrew, show us how you make all of the accompaniment music for this show. This is one of the things that just makes this show everything that you do, Andrew. What would Andrew's theme be if you wrote one for Andrew? Oh, Annika.
That's a good question.
That is a good question. Let's answer that question, and then we'll go to the show and tell.
It's easy for me to answer because
a
lot of the music I write is just about, if not directly myself, like my experiences in life. So even songs that I write about like people I've been in a relationship with, ultimately I'm still writing a lot about myself. Not just like in a postmodern thing of like, oh, it's your lens applied, but like truly I kind of am like working through my own shit through the song. So the answer to that is listen to any of my music. But Annika, what's your take on that?
I mean, honestly, my answer is pretty similar in that a lot of, but I also I think if I were to write one for myself, I think it would. Oh, for my vibe, I think it would be fast. It would definitely be fast because I have a fast brain. Probably be like have a little bit of like a folky vibe, just because I think that's just because I like that type of music, and I think that that type of music has a lot of heart, and I think that I care about things a lot, like too much often, like even dumb things. I always say I cannot give less than 100. Like I'm an 110% person, and so I think that like folkish music has a lot of like heart and genuineness, and so I think it would be fast. Yeah, accurate. Very accurate.
I love
Which
that.
isn't me calling you stupid, but I remember you saw the meme and was like, you were floored by that meme. So
Yeah, I was like,
figured
yeah,
would
no,
bring
that
it
is
up.
me. That is me entirely. And so I think that it would be fast and folky, and I don't even, I think that would be my vibe.
Beautiful. Andrew, show us how you make
yeah.
the music for this show, because
Yeah.
every segment of this show has live musical accompaniment. Like it's
Clip it really is emphatic.
Yes, it's like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire style, like how Martin Urbano's show has like a sound for everything. But Andrew brings this to everything that Andrew's a part of. Show us your magic.
I mean, I would be nothing without Bertha, my keyboard.
Bertha.
Yeah, my friend housemate and bandmate John named her. I don't really refer to. I think it is a little weird to like name and gender an instrument, so I don't actually do that in my head. But for the sake of the show, I'm gonna call her Bertha. Anyway, yeah, this keyboard has a lot of different settings. So the setting that I found for, well, first of all, for the theme song, which Annika kind of said, "Hey." Oh yeah, the heat pads. Sarah's got a good eye. Yeah, I get cold. What can I say?
Yeah.
But anyway,
Oh yeah.
Heat pads were the best.
They're great.
feel weirdly-
No, yeah.
Weirdly embarrassed by something that's.
Oh no. Don't be embarrassed at all. They're great.
I know, I
That's just
shouldn't
you
be,
being
but-
smart.
Legitimately jealous.
That's you being
intelligent.
smart. Yeah, very jealous.
But so I have this accordion setting that Annika wanted something kind of like what's it called? Like a pirate, not a pirate song. There's a better word for that.
Sea
Like a
shanty?
sea shanty, yeah.
Sea shanty. That was what he said.
Ooh.
Sea shanty vibe. And so I was like, I don't know, like just kind of basic major chord accordion song thing. I truly like. It was like the hour before the first show. I was like, oh fuck, I still didn't write the song, and I was like, okay, okay, all along the friendship. Truly the most basic like major progression I could find, but you know it did the job.
It works.
And there we go.
I mean,
The rest is history.
Andrew knows the first Archie. I can
Clippy
show
is
you now
loving it.
because but right before we went on for the first time, we did not went on. You know what I mean? Like it started. The first show started. We sort of met up to quickly go over stuff, and part of that was Andrew showed us the theme song, and I truly, I was so excited. I literally, my jaw dropped. I had my like hand over my mouth. I was so, because it was perfect in my head, and like I knew it was something I couldn't create on an acoustic guitar, right? And so I hadn't even like sketched out kind of what I wanted it to sound like, other than like I want it to sound like this, and then Andrew took that and just ran away and made like exactly what I was thinking, and I was like, oh, that's literally perfect. It's better than I could have imagined.
I mean,
It's
now
so
you know
exciting.
how I feel every time I hear one of your songs, and I'm like, this is literally the perfect song for this person. It's gonna be
Oh
a lot
my
of
gosh.
compliments tennis.
Yeah,
here tonight.
exactly.
Forehand, backhand, up to the net. We're doing all the moves here.
Yeah.
This is incredible. So
Yeah.
we heard a little bit about what all of you bring to the show. What you two bring to the show. Incredible music, incredible hosting, incredible questions, incredible prizes. I'm real curious, Clip It.
Yeah.
What are your experiences like with the show? Being, it appears to be an AI helping with the show. If I'm correct, please correct me if I'm wrong. I would love to hear about your experiences on the show and what it's like to help host and organize as a mascot. I would like to save the changes. Would you guys like to save your changes?
Yeah, always.
Control S.
I can tell you that part of
Very advanced AI.
I can tell that Clippett's a big fan of all the Planet Scum
Yes.
shows too.
Oh, yeah.
I'm impressed.
it would be really funny to to try to get in to feed an AI a bunch of just phrases that are commonly said in the Planet Scum Discord and just see what it came up with.
Yo, that'd be
This is
wild. Just
incredible.
feed it the whole history. We could just give the AI all our channels.
Wow.
I wouldn't actually want to give all our information, but you know,
Yeah.
like, what would
As
come
a
out of that? That's
hypothetical.
great question.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clip
That's
it. You'll
so
have to let
funny.
us know about your capabilities if you're interested in this experiment.
But we can tell you that Lou, as we already said, was a huge part of creating sort of the aesthetic and anything visual you see for I won't speak for Andrew. I cannot create things visually. I don't have those skills. And so
Got plenty
Lou,
of others.
yes, but I don't have those particular ones. So Lou is responsible for all of that, including the awesome posters you'll see in plugs, which he makes from scratch each time, and sort of
Also
anything.
just running the show, frankly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then Lou also runs the show. That part too, because we didn't come up with the song idea until very late in the
It was the week of.
process. Week
Yeah.
of, and I think like a day or two before, we were like, oh crap, we really do need a prize. And so the idea had initially been that I would sort of host and move things along the whole time, and then I suggested this, and then was kind of like, oh yeah, I can host and write a song at the same time. That makes sense. That'll go well. And obviously, starting in the first show, like after the first sort of 5 questions, I was like, no, someone take over for me, please. Like I have to panic write. And so Andrew sort of took over, obviously was on the keys and all of that, and then Lou and Andrew helped sort of move it along, and Lou does all of the sort of technical putting stuff in, looking at who voted for what,
Cues,
all
the
that
reactions,
stuff.
A, B, C, D.
Yeah. So all of those things.
And I mean, he runs
Lou
his
does.
own mini game entirely
Yeah.
himself, pretty much. Because I mean, I do the background music, but he like has the questions written down in advance, does the the kind of cue card, well, the question cards, puts them up, the ABCD reacts, reads out the question, and gives hints, counts the time. It's incredible the amount of things that this person does at once.
Truly. and I've got to be honest, hearing you say all of that, I'm like, oh wow, yeah, that's insane. Because by that point in the show, again, as I said, I'm fully panic writing, so I'm not super paying attention to everything that's going on. I sort of like tune in and out. I have like one headphone in and I'm tuning in and out. And so, yeah, that's pretty incredible, actually. Wow. Yeah. So he does a lot for
Brings
the show.
the heat, baby.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
On top of shit. It's great. I truly don't think it would work with fewer than 3 people. In the complicated way that we've put it together,
Yeah.
I don't think it would work with fewer than 3 people.
Well,
I
that's-
could, yeah. I don't see that happening with 2 people.
That's super interesting because it's something I was curious about. What have you learned over the course of starting the show? Now you're 4 episodes deep. What sort of lessons have you taken away or learned about hosting a show, Scum, any of that?
I think
Well,
that...
go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
You hang up.
No, you hang up.
He doesn't learn.
I was gonna say that I think that one of the things I've learned, and this is that the more sort of the more participation and the more you can engage an audience, the better the show turns out, right? Because it's such a communal space that I think that finding ways to draw people in is what helps sort of keep it engaging and exciting, and for our show especially, because it's a celebration of the community, it makes sense to have the community as involved as possible, and so that's what's been exciting. I think also just how much stuff goes into putting something together. Like, it's one of those things where it seems pretty simple, and then you're like, oh, but this would be cool if we added this, and then all of a sudden you're part of something that has like 17 moving parts, and it doesn't even seem complicated. Like, when I think about it, I'm like, no, that's pretty simple, right? And yet there's so much going on, and so I think that's sort of the main thing, is how much goes into making something.
I was gonna say something along those lines too, of like, I mean, for me, one of the biggest challenges was like getting a feel for the pacing of the show, because like you said, there are all these like moving parts, and when you're very like micro focused on like, okay, we got this, and then we're moving to this, it's like you don't necessarily realize that maybe you're spending too long on something, or not enough time on something, or like there's an awkward, like, just kind of getting the feel of the show really is what took the most time, because I think the logistics we kind of nailed down pretty early on. We like made a few adjustments, like, oh,
but not
lose
much.
mini game 30 seconds was too quick, so 45 seconds now. Like, there were like little fixes, but I think the kind of more macro level, kind of the pacing and feel of the show and the flow of it is what took the longest. And it is something that I didn't quite realize was as tricky as it is to nail down, but I feel pretty good with the rhythm we've gotten to now. But it is kind of this funny dance of like the three of us kind of getting all these parts moving together. It's
I think in the first show, I think we got through the first 5 questions in what, 7 minutes? Truly, we were like, fuck, we need to vamp. How did we go through them so quickly? And now
it's props to Sam for being a good sport on that, because it was not the most well-run show, but
it seemed super well run, to be honest.
Yeah, as an audience member, it was not.
I appreciate that, but behind the scenes, we were definitely messaging in the other Discord, being like, "Fuck, we went through those so quickly. I need more time to write a song."
Vamp, stretch.
Yeah, it was very funny. And also, but with that being said, I think to have a show isn't necessarily complicated, but it sort of depends on what the vibe is that you're trying to do, right? Like, we were going for like kind of a game showy vibe where we have a prize at the end. So that obviously takes a lot more moving parts versus like random relevant stories, which, I mean, sure, could I, think of a theme beforehand? Yeah, maybe. And like, that would be great, right? But I am who I am. And if I'm being honest, I put it out there. I was like, this is gonna be chaos. The whole point of this is that
that's the spirit of it.
People get to communicate the way they want to communicate, and there's no shame in any of it, and it's all about sharing, and so I think that for that type of show, me being as chaotic, or not chaotic, but me being as sort of disorganized with parts that don't excite me is very honest to the show, versus like, I spent time and I wrote a theme song and I wrote a vibe check song, because those parts of it excited me, versus other parts didn't excite me as much for that show. And so I think that's honest to the vibe of that show. And so it's two very different things. So it really depends on sort of what type of vibe you're going for.
I love that. I mean, speaking of, I'm curious about the other shows that you do on Scum. Obviously, you just told us what I would have asked about Random Relevant Stories with Annika, which is on Saturdays, correct?
Yes.
At what time?
6 Eastern.
At 6 p.m. Eastern, which is an incredible show. It's just the sharing of stories, where you just sign up and then you share the thing that you wanted to share, likely a missive from your own life based on something you heard in the previous story, which is much more stripped down. Are there other shows that you do? Andrew, I know you do some other shows on Scum, or have done. other shows on K-Scum. Tell me about them.
You know, it's funny because I actually haven't done a whole lot on K-Scum. I think the first K-Scum show I actually hosted was my Discord anniversary show. Was that before this? Yeah, that was before Sandwich Night. So that was actually my first time, and it was basically just me putting on music I liked and chatting. So very unstructured. And then the Sandwich show was kind of, yeah. So I actually don't have a whole lot of experience with K-Scum shows outside of this, but I do love the medium of it, and I think it just is such an open space of possibilities for anything. And I mean, I thoroughly enjoy just coming to people's shows and listening and kind of participating or not, and just really, vibing with my buds. I love it.
Beautiful. I love that. I love the K-Scum's a place where you can be as complicated, complex as FriendSHIP, where there have to be 3 hosts, where there are basically 3 different things happening at the same time, where there's multiple musical and vocal elements all the way down to, like, I'm just playing a playlist and chatting. You know, it's wide open for both of those things. I'm curious if you have any advice for aspiring showmakers, someone who might think, damn, like, I would love to do a thing, not sure what it is, or maybe they have an idea in their head, like, oh, it would be this. Do you have any advice for possible future K-Scum creators?
My main advice would be do it, which I know is, like, pretty cliche, and, like, just, like, do the thing.
Do the thing.
But at the same time, honestly, do it. And you want to hear my actual advice? My actual advice is sign up before you chicken out. Sign up right when you have the idea, and then figure out the details later. I literally, between sign up or between having the idea and signing up for Random Relevant Stories, I believe was about 10 minutes. I had nothing planned. I was basically like, it'd be cool if I did this, to the point where I spelled relevant wrong in my application, okay? Like, I mean, I was like, I have to do it now because otherwise it's not gonna happen. Like, because you will find the time to think about the details later, right? If it's on the calendar. And here's the thing, and for your first show, depending sort of what it's scheduled, you may have 3 people, you may have 15 people, and it doesn't really matter, right? Because everyone's there to support you.
People nonetheless.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, you're gonna have encouragement even if you don't do exactly what you wanted.
Yeah, and people will work with you if it changes sort of week to week. If it's a one-time thing and it doesn't go the way you planned and it goes a different way, it's probably still going to go well. When you have people who are rooting for you, it's probably going to go well. And so my main advice is sign up when you have the idea before you have a chance to chicken out.
Oh my god.
I just love Bastion's comment.
Perfect. Oh my gosh.
How would you respond to someone who has the anxiety of, I'm going to sign up, but I will chicken out the day of, or I'm going to sign up and when I'm in there, there's only one person or there's no people?
Can I take this one?
Yeah, please do.
Here's what I would say. I would say, don't even worry about it. What's the worst that can happen? People will be there to support you. People who want to be friends, who just want positivity, friendship, and honestly who are just here to vibe and have a good time. So even if it's not exactly what you want to do, even if you don't know what you want to do, don't let that get in your head. Just tell yourself, hey, this is going to be exciting and weird, and I don't know what's going to happen, but I know we're all going to be there together, and it'll all work out.
That is beautiful.
That's what I would say.
That's so beautiful. I have, in fact, done a whole show for one person before.
It's true.
Shout out, Maves. And it was really fun.
Shout out, Maves.
In addition to, well, if there's only one other person there, right? At worst comes to worst, if you hate the way it went, only one person saw it. So, that's a plus. Also, I would say on a sort of logistical point, for me at least, scheduling a few touch points throughout the show where you go, I know exactly what's going to happen at this time and at this time and at this time, just so that way you sort of, the anxiety isn't between when the show starts and when the show ends. It can be like in shorter intervals, being like, I don't know what's going to happen in this 7-minute interval instead of in this 60-minute interval, right? And also, I think probably, I'm going to say this based on no experience, because I have never put together music for a show. Probably having music
Except
is
for
another good
this
touch point.
show.
Well, no, but my point is, like, for random relevant stories, I like haven't put together like a playlist. You know what I mean? But I would assume
Sure.
that would probably relieve anxiety as well. I should
Great
probably
point.
do that. I'm gonna do that.
Because that's another really fun option for shows. This is just a musical playlist, which is incredible. I am so blown away by how adorable both of you are, and of course you, Clippy.
The new mascot of
And
FriendSHIP.
I've just had so much fun watching FriendSHIP. I'm wondering if in these final, wow. Yeah, Clippy is eyebrow goals, straight up. I was wondering if in these last 6 minutes of the show tonight, if you would like for me to pull for you a Planet Scum tarot card. A little Planet Scum tarot reading for the three of you.
I would love that.
These were, of course,
incredible.
designed by Stephen Premel,
These
who was on last
beautiful,
week.
Stunning cards designed by Stephen Premel. I am excited to do this because I love pulling cards, but I'm also so excited for more people to see the cards, react to them, and see what they see in them for themselves, because that just really makes the whole thing grow. I am going to do a show
Right,
on
yeah.
K-Scum,
You are going to do a K-Scum
pulling
show.
cards for people. But I'm excited to do this now. Andrew from Philly, your card is the law.
Which
Look.
one is? Oh, that's the
That's White Bailiff.
Yeah.
bailiff. Yeah. Nice.
This right here is White Bailiff.
That's
White
incredibly
Bailiff.
appropriate. He
Tell me
plays
about
keyboard
it.
on the show. I play keyboard for the show. Holy fucking shit.
Wow.
Whoa.
Wow. Wow. And that's what I think a lot about this card. This card represents a lot of ways the enlightenment one can reach through sacrifice, through putting oneself through a kind of a hoop, dangling themselves from a tree, searching for this inner knowledge, putting yourself out there can lead to excitement in a way that you haven't necessarily imagined. Like, who would imagine that they reach enlightenment hanging from a freaking tree, except for people
right.
who do that specific ritual that this is based on. Is there anything in this card that you see that speaks to you, either in the description or
I certainly
the
feel
art?
like the the art itself is kind of connected to nature in a nice way. The enlightenment aspect, I don't know. I don't think I'm enlightened, but I certainly think I do put myself out there in a very honest way as much as I can. I think that's kind of my ethos with my artist, to really just speak from myself and what I know. And I say art, but also it goes into like whatever music or comedy thing I do, just trying to take it from a place of honesty. So yeah, I definitely see that. Yeah. Amazing pull.
Beautiful. It's hard to not be yourself when you're hanging upside down. Like, that's just a lot of things to juggle, you know?
It comes down to it.
Truly.
Annika. Oh my god. Oh my god.
yeah.
Oh.
It's happy. It's happy. We have here Mary Houlihan giving Happy a little scritch. She's wearing this beautiful laurel rose leaf. And with this card, it's based on the courage card. And I love that courage is turned to happiness. I love that we have Mary Houlihan and her sweet Happy, not necessarily like this woman and a lion. What I see from this card is the joy, just the pure joy of connection.
Yeah.
Wow.
God, I love that. That's so cute.
Is there anything in this card that you see that speaks to you, something that just jumps out based on anything here, including the title?
Well, I think, like you said, just the bond and the connection, and also I love the colors that are used, the sort of, I mean, obviously very sort of happy, evoking colors, and then the bright, are those like mountains in the background? The
Yes,
blue?
that is
Yes.
a bright blue mountain in the background.
And in a way, like, that to me is like excitement. There's happiness right here, right? And then there's also exciting things sort of farther away, but in like not like I can go for those if I want to, but I'm also happy with what's right now, and either way it's something good. And that's sort
lovely.
of the vibe that I get from that.
I love that.
That is so beautiful. I absolutely love that. By the way, if I ever, which I'm planning to doing, small write-ups on each of the cards so that people can draw their own cards, and, jump off from any point or want a starting point. We have 1 minute left.
1 minute left, and then as
And
as
I'm
Clip It says, we should tune into the
Pulling
pre-show
them
on
hard
Discord.
right now for Clip It.
Clip It got
It.
Naptrick,
Snack,
Snack,
snore.
Snore.
That seems about right. Yes, it is a wrestling scene.
Wow.
It is a wrestling zine.
A
think
showrunner
this is
extraordinaire,
lovely.
beloved by the people.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds right to
A
me.
producer who is also an element of the show, who brings a specific element, who represents transformation. That is the big, beautiful flower.
I mean,
Is
I
that
also
death?
I can't help but notice the presence of water
Yes.
in this card with Shippy,
Yes.
Oh my
with
god.
the ship.
It all comes
friendship.
back around.
It
all
All
comes
comes back around.
back around.
Thank you all so
Thank
very
you all
much
so
for
very much.
joining us.
Thanks for
We'll
having
see
us.
you on the Discord. Thank you so much, Friendship Crew. Everyone, check out Friendship and sign up to be a VIP. It's
Yes.
so much fun.
I'll put the link in the chat so you can sign up to board the Friendship for yourself.
And check it out Sundays at 3 p.m.
Pacific,
Pacific time.
6 p.m. Eastern.
6 p.m. Eastern. We love you all. Good night and good clawn, and we will see you in the